few years ago, I made a video of a pantry pull-out that I put in my kitchen, this one right here. And we do like it a lot. It's easy to access everything all the way from the back. I can get at this from both sides. So what I want to do in this video is to demonstrate how to install one of those. You might like to put one in your household, so let's get right to it. This is the pantry pull-out unit that we're going to install in the garage. The one in the kitchen handles 275 pounds. This one is 450 pounds, 200 kilograms. So this hardware will be assembled on this pantry unit, and this unit is going to go into this cabinet here in my garage. So the video you're about to see is the installation instructions on how to install the Fulterer Pantry Pull-out FR777 in that cabinet. Let's talk about the various components that make up this 450-pound pantry pull-out system. This is the upper stabilizer. This part attaches to the top of your cabinet, and this part attaches to the top of your pull-out unit. Also, there's the damper that goes inside of here. If you look inside, you'll see that this unit drops into here at this point. So you would squeeze these together and then push them down into the cabinet until they engage here. This is the muscle of the unit right here. It goes under the pantry pull-out unit. Now right here, this piece mounts to the bottom of the pull-out unit. And this is the front end. And then this piece mounts to the floor of the cabinet. Then you set your piece on it and put them together. Now let's look at a couple of other things. See this red clip right here? This is a fixing clip, and they have it installed here. And don't want you to remove it until you finally installed the cabinet. It's a preset. And if you happen to make your up and down adjustment, which is right here, take a look at this. Here's your up and down. You turn this, and it'll move your pantry unit up and down a tiny bit for adjustment. So don't take that out till after it's installed. Now also in this pantry unit, it has your adjustment from side to side and the screws that lock the pantry unit into place so it can't come out. We'll take a closer look at that. So here are all of your components for that mount to the floor of the cabinet. So the instructions say you can take this all apart. I recommend that you don't take it apart. Just leave it together. You can install the whole thing without taking it apart. We're going to remove this piece. It mounts to the bottom of your pull-out unit. And now we have a close look at the internal workings here. Just want to show the adjustments. Your up and down adjustment is here, right here, and you can adjust your cabinet up and down. These adjustments are to lock your pantry unit so it won't fall out of the cabinet. So let's take a look at that. Put in this unit there, and then these screws are tightened now by backing these a little bit. You can make some adjustments left and right. First thing we're going to do is attach these easy close devices. They call them the ECDs, but we're going to put the trigger on the mobile part. That requires that we pull the mobile device out a ways, and then this one's marked right, so we put it on the right hand side and slide it into place, and the other one marked left goes on the other side like that. And then to keep them in place, we use our screwdriver and bend them a little bit. so they can't get out. Now that device won't come out. So the triggers are installed, and now we got to put on the device itself. I've done this before. They are hard to press into place. There, it's in place. Now we do the one on the other side. And they're in. Let's see if it works. There, we cocked the soft close device. That's a pretty good, that's a pretty solid hold. Here's the cabinet pantry unit that goes right into the cabinet right there. And now we're going to put a center line in the cabinet and measure the 37mm setback, like you see here. That's for the screw hole in the bottom of the hardware. Here's a picture of the base hardware flipped upside down, and you can see the hole locations for the 37mm setback. And when we flip that over again, we'll be able to put a screw right into the floor of the cabinet from that spot. Now in this image, you're going to see us putting the slide on the floor of the cabinet, and we're going to get a pan head screw and sink it right through that 37mm hole location and lock down the slide. There, now I have drawn a line all the way to the back so I can get that lined up real nice. And one thing you'll see here is that you automatically get a 2mm setback if you're using the 37mm hole. Now the manufacturer wants you to fill all the holes with screws here. Lock this unit down good. It can hold a lot of weight, and you don't want to have an accident with something falling out of the cabinet. Now we're looking at the top of the cabinet, and we have to have a 37mm hole setback up there as well, and that's going to provide for the runner of that we're installing here, the upper runner for the upper guide, will give us a 10mm setback, or 3/8 of an inch. Put panhead screws up there all the way through, and that'll be a nice solid hook up there. Now we're switching over to looking at the pantry unit itself. In this clip, we're going to install or attach the guide unit for the floor of the cabinet. You'll notice it's the bottom and the front. And I have an 1.5 inch thick bottom in this cabinet, so I'm running some 1.25 inch screws and filling all the holes with that. And you'll see that the front of that piece of hardware there. Now we're flipping to the top of the cabinet, and we're going to put the stabilizer track up there to keep the cabinet from shifting to the left and the right. It also has a damper built in. In this case, up here, you have to use countersunk screws. Otherwise, your guide is going to bump the pan head. So be sure to use countersunk screws on the upper guide. Now we're inserting the upper damper to give you a nice soft opening. The device back here, you adjust forward or backward depending on how heavy the unit is. Now Diane's helping me to slide that unit into the cabinet. Went in pretty nice. She inspects it and passes the test. Let's watch this clever factory animation here. Well, our cabinet is done. Well, I should say our cabinet is done, except I still have to put the door front on it. The question might come up, how did I determine how tall to make the pantry unit itself? Well, up here at the top, The hardware up there takes 59 millimeters. And down here it takes 90 millimeters. And for me, that converts to 5 7/8 inches. So I had to make this front unit 5 7/8 inches smaller than the opening of the cabinet. That's how I determined this. So it's not a real problem. It actually worked out pretty good. I got it right on the nose. It was easy to put in, as you saw. I hope you found this video useful. And if you did, like it, subscribe, and share it with your friends.